All right, Sam. Will Sullivan here. I'm gonna do a walk around on this vehicle, point out every imperfection that I see, give you my overall opinion of the Jeep. And then if at any point after this description, I know that we put a deposit down on it because we had folks come in and drive it. We didn't want to lose the opportunity. But when we're making an automotive purchase, one of the biggest purchases you make, things need to be calculated, and given the distance and shipping and how hard it would be to undo a car deal, we need to be as as concise as possible. So if at any point you feel like this Jeep is not for you, we're happy to refund you 100% of your deposit back, and we thank you for the opportunity. However, if it is, then we'll go through the motions of getting everything done, loans done, payment done, however that might be, and then get this thing shipped right out to your front door. So starting from the front, I'm gonna go fender by fender or panel by panel. This is the front driver's side plastic fender. Looks to be in good condition. These things, with a lot of Jeeps, I see them scraped up, banged up, dented up, scuffed up, and this one looks like it's in really good condition. There's a small little hairline, something you can see right here. Nothing too major though. Side markers are not cracked. They look like they're in good condition. Minus that, believe it or not, that is not dirt. That is pollen on these tires. That's how bad it is here in Virginia right now. Tire tread looks to be great. Plenty of tire tread. I don't see any evidence of dry rot or anything like that. They look really good. The wheel condition looks really good as well. Moving along to the front. Front grille looks very good. Headlamp housings are clear, crystal clear. Radiator looks good. No dents or anything in the radiator fins through here. I would more than likely put probably some type of grille guard in there if it was my Jeep, but that's how they come. Bumper's in good shape. No scratches or dents that I can see. Fog light housings are clear. They're not hazed over or anything like that. And then your skid guard underneath looks to be in great shape too. I don't think this Jeep ever did any off-roading, and this is more than likely a beach Jeep. Moving around to this tire and this fender. We'll start with the fender actually. Fender looks good, no scrapes or dents. See this white in here? This is more than likely dry dressing. These plastics are notorious for sun fading. No matter what you do to try to compensate for it, you'll never get around it. But I don't think that's sun fading. I think that's actually dried up dressing. Hard to tell though. They make some treatments and stuff you can put on this plastic that completely renews them. Same with this wheel. Wheel's in good shape. Looks like we need a dust cap right there. We'll get that dust cap replaced. And then you kind of peek in there and see the condition of the frame, and a little bit down there, some of the spring, back side of the frame here. For a vehicle that's from Pennsylvania, just getting down on it, it's not a rusty vehicle underneath at all. So it's got, of course, some surface, but nothing that I would be too concerned about. I mean, that vehicle will be strong and healthy for decades to come. The hood is in great condition. Now, I'm gonna kind of show you something that this happened in a lot of the JK body styles, and it's even in the newer JL body styles has been an issue for them because of the cheap pot metal that they used to make these hinges. And here it is. So we have a repair order in it to fix this, but it gets all of this oxidation in here, and it just bubbles up and chips up, and it does the same thing on the door hinges. Whatever material they used right here was awful, and there's forums full of why they bubble up and why they kind of rust the way they do. But these are going to be popped off and redone, both the driver door hinges and the hood hinges. So that just something to point out right there. I think every JK body style Jeep I've ever had, I have to pull those and paint them. Whether they're from South Carolina or Maine, it does not matter. They bubble up like that. Hood is in great condition. Windshield's in good condition. No cracks or stars that I could see. hood looks pretty good. This is, like I said, this is all pollen, so no scratches or dents there. This fender is in good condition, and so is this driver's door. Looks like we've got is that a mark? No, that's shine. So there's some type of dressing that was used on the inside. It dries white and it kind of dripped down right there. As you can see, this rocker panel looks good. And then underneath, you can see a little bit there. Moving along to the quarter panel of this Jeep. This plastic's in great condition. This wheel is in great condition. Tire depth is the same. And the top looks like it's in good condition. It probably could be fastened down a little better than what it is right now, but it's pretty clean. There's not much to these rag tops. I mean, they open up, and we were looking inside of it earlier. That's why it's unzipped, but kind of see the condition here of this rail. But moving along, rear bumper is in good condition. Same issue here with these tow hooks being oxidized and rusted. We're going to pull those as well and go ahead and just sandblast them and paint them, make them look 100%. But the rear bumper looks good. A little bit of remnants of whatever sticker they had on there. Quiet Storm sticker and UD sticker. It's probably just the adhesive, but that will come off with the right adhesive remover. And we'll probably redress the bumper, get it back to nice flat black or gloss black. All right, moving around, this rear bumper looks pretty good, and so does the rear of the Jeep. Opening the back, just kind of looking in, everything looks good, nice and clean. Rear or passenger side quarter fender, no scratches or dents that I can see. Plastic looks good. Rag top looks good. Rocker panels look good. Passenger door looks good. Side mirrors are clean. And the fender looks good. I mean, overall, the exterior condition of this Jeep is great. You know, it's a pre-owned vehicle. It's an 09, so you know, it's got some age on it, but the miles are excellent. My only complaint, or it's not really even a complaint because it's going to be addressed, are going to be those hinges and those hooks. They'll need to be popped off, sandblasted, and painted. Moving along to the driver's side, we're just going to get a view of the inside of the Jeep. It's very clean, as the pictures show, but you know, just opening the door on it and looking around, it's spotless in here. Everything works the way it should. There's no broken pieces anywhere or paneling. One of the notes that I saw in the mechanic report was, he said undoubtedly Jeep was either a beach Jeep or had the top off most of its life. He said that some of the hinges on the floor, on the seat hinges, and some of the what was the other word he used? I forget, but he just call them seat hinges, had rust on them. We see that when Jeeps folks keep their top off, and they get it either gets rained in or something like that, and you can see down here the rust that's around the edge of that. We've had the carpets out of this, we've been underneath of it. There is absolutely zero evidence of this vehicle being underwater. But what happens when you leave your top off of your Jeep is water does get in these carpets, and this being that same cheap pot metal they use with the door hinges, it has to be addressed. So another thing to add to our sandblast and paint in terms of what we're doing on these. You can see it's pretty bad there, but the interior of this Jeep is absolutely immaculate. I wanted to point that out just so that, you know, when we put this into our collision center where we do our painting in a few days, I don't want you to think that we're trying to cover anything up. There's obviously, we got rusty brackets and rusty door hinges from either a salt environment in the air, somebody having the top off the Jeep, but you know, all of this stuff is correctable. If that's something that makes you uneasy, I see it a lot, but I'm jaded being in the car business. If that's something that makes you uneasy, then will absolutely insist on giving you your deposit back. But we'll remove that, sandblast it. But there's no evidence of any type of water or anything being on this Jeep. Here's the underneath of it. This is the actual base part of the Jeep. This is dry and as a bone, really. So how those rust, it's interesting. I mean, they're Jeeps. They have their tops off a lot, and a lot of humidity and moisture get in there. So we'll take a look under the hood and then wrap this video up. And I don't know if you can see this on this side where the mileage is. You can see that this cluster is very clear. And then over here, there are some hairline kind of, I don't know how to describe that. I wouldn't call them scratches, and they appear almost worse on my camera than they do when I'm looking at it. It kind of disappears depending on the angle, but that angle kind of shows it. It's almost like it got really hot in here, or maybe the top was off and it just caused some stress in there, but that's solid. It's just, you know, it's caused some lines to show up on the cluster there. And like I said, as you back out when you're in the driver's seat, you don't really see it. You have to almost get down at a certain angle for it to pop up. The light has to hit it right. Well, like I said when I spoke to you, I'm going to over describe any type of imperfection and try not to miss anything in this. That way there's no surprises if you move forward on the vehicle. And then here's the shot of the inside of the motor. Everything looks pretty good. All right, so that's going to kind of wrap up my video. Take a look at it. If it is something you undoubtedly want to move forward on, please let me know. We'll get all those arrangements. Thank you so much for the opportunity.